right, what's up, everyone? I'm hanging out with our second guest today on Backstage Live, Kim Barnouin. She is the author of and we're just going to say this on the internet, the Skinny Bitch Cookbook series. Now, Kim, my first question, before we get to, she's going to talk to us today about vegan ingredients, and before we get to that, I want to talk about this book series. Now, when you came up with the name for it, were you at all concerned that it might not stick, or people might not get it, or people, might take it the wrong way?
No, I just thought they're just going to have to get over it eventually, because when you're selling a diet, especially a vegan diet, you want to grab people's attention, stir up some controversy, make people talk. They're going to buy the book out of curiosity, and then you just hit them with such great, compelling information that they don't even remember that there's a bad word in the cover.
Absolutely. And obviously it's been a success. This is now the fifth book, right?
Sixth book.
Okay, so we're talking about vegan ingredients today. First, before we get into the actual ingredients that we have here, why go vegan in the first place?
Well, it's good for your health, it's good for the planet, and it's good for the animals. So it's a win-win situation, but for me, it changed my health completely. Not only does it keep your weight down, helps with heart disease, diabetes, cancer. It's low fat, no cholesterol, low in saturated fat, and it's just a wonderful thing to either, do all the time, do part-time, whatever you can do, but really focus on swapping out some ingredients.
And that's what we have here today, ingredients that you can swap, vegan ingredients that you can swap for, non-vegan ingredients that you would use pretty often. So what are some of the things that we have here today?
Okay, so really it's mainly dairy products. Instead of milk, we've got my favorite, almond milk.
Okay.
And again, you're not having the cholesterol, saturated fat, very healthy. And grapeseed oil. I cook with this all the time. This should be a staple in everyone's house.
And grapeseed oil, and as opposed to using it in place of.
The oils. There is no really. People don't use lard anymore. People don't use lard anymore, do they?
I don't think so.
Yeah. So no, this is. I think across the board, everyone's pretty much going to use this. But this is my absolute favorite go-to butter.
This is it.
This is like the vegan Bible of butter, and it doesn't taste any different. Again, this is available any place now, so it's just a nice swap out from all that fat and cholesterol. And our vegan Parmesan cheese.
Wow.
There's a swap out for everything.
I need to ask you about vegan cheese, because I know some people hear vegan cheese and they're like, how is that even possible, vegan cheese? Can you just explain it?
It is possible, and there's so many different brands nowadays that there's a ton of variety. They have shredded, they've got Parmesan cheese, cheddar, jack, you name it, they've got it nowadays. So there's a lot of tasty options, and thanks to Whole Foods or natural food markets, you can get anything now. And this, I'm going to be cooking with this today. It's the vegetarian brown gravy mix.
Okay.
And this is just a good thing. It's, fat-free, all natural. And that's a nice way to sort of thicken and meat up the taste of soup, just to kind of give it a more hearty and rich flavor.
Now, people are always going to be concerned with taste, obviously. So how do these items stack up with their non-vegan counterparts?
I don't even think twice about any of the ingredients being different. I'm so used to it, and I think especially what I wanted to do with the cookbook is make it, it's vegan and it doesn't taste weird. They're normal ingredients. They're fast. It's inexpensive products, and it's really to show people that vegans eat really great, normal tasting food. It's so healthy. It's like I said, simple to make, and you're doing your heart good. My skin is phenomenal because of it. My energy levels are great. So it's something that definitely people should not be scared of.
And the one thing I always think would be definitely a plus is that, so many different kinds of meats are pumped with different steroids and, preservatives and that kind of thing. And with this, you have none of that stuff. Absolutely.
I think people should be concerned about what's in their food. There have been studies that little girls, are not little kids, but, in the prepubescent time, are developing a lot more quickly than girls because of all the hormones in the chicken and the meat, the steroids, and that's something that's very alarming. I know my own sister had some issues with that with her daughter as well. So for me, it's not even a question. I know what's going in the meat. I don't want any part of it. We put way too much stuff in our meat and dairy products.
So these items that you have here, are you able to tell us the individual health benefits of, some of these different, products?
Ultimately, with everything, it's a matter of, you're having less no cholesterol. You're having less saturated fat, and a lot of the times a lot less calories. So that's a benefit as well for what you're taking out of your diet. You're having a diet that's centered on meat and dairy. You're going to still have all of the cholesterol, the fat, saturated fat, and you're adding calories. So this is a really great way to go, healthy and low fat.
Now, nowadays, especially, people are very concerned with saving money, everywhere they can, pinching their pennies. Are vegan products more expensive, or are they on about the same price point?
What I tell people is when you get the staples, like you would need to get milk, you would need to get butter, you're just going to swap it out for the same thing. The price isn't any different. I recommend for people to buy local seasonal food. And that's going to help whether you're eating vegan or not. You're still going to eat vegetables. So, pay attention to what's in season. If it's not shipped from another country, you're already going to save the price on it for shipping costs. So eat locally. No, nothing is going to raise your budget. If you're eating a lot of prepackaged foods, that is going to raise the price. But you're getting, lentils, beans, nuts, seeds, seitan, tempeh, all the things that vegans eat. Not going to break the bank.
Okay. Rick, you have your hand up.
Prosecutor who is responsible for her prosecution is convicted of abuse of his office, given a 16-month suspended sentence, and yet permitted to practice law and continue to prosecute. And when you think that there could not be something more happens.
You're going to get plenty of protein. But the protein sources for vegans are.
Commander, both were charged with criminal slander.
Ted, I got to ask you this.
When you start looking at the composite of this case, you can see how peculiar it truly is.
All right, I got to ask you this question. Let's say this slander case does go to trial. Does this in any way impact her appeal on the murder charge, which is set for the 24th of this month?
Yes, they should be independent, that they're reviewing different matters. The slander case is separate and apart from the appeal of the murder conviction, which will review the utter lack of evidence that is in this case, among many other aspects.
If the appeal does fail, what is the next step for Amanda Knox?
Well, fortunately, we're hoping this provides a great opportunity for the reversal, because in Italy there's a broader standard and scope of review on appeal, and that is the appellate court in Italy will not only be able to review the law, but will be able to review the facts. So we're very optimistic, cautiously optimistic, that a good result will occur. However, should it not, there remains another opportunity to appeal to the Supreme Court of Italy.
Ted Simon, thank you so much for taking the time this morning. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right. Now let's go over to Lonnie with another check of the weather for us this morning. Lonnie?
All right, Chris, I'm going to get right to it. Show everybody a big picture of the United States. It's a satellite and radar look, and you can tell pretty much clear skies out there. Maybe a little bit of a snow shower around the eastern Ohio Valley, but really, the clear air that you're seeing is all thanks to big high pressure system right smack dab in the middle of the country. Now, if you
cupcakes with your.
I just don't eat lettuce or raw vegetables. That's the stuff that I eat.
That's a vegan menu right there. That doesn't sound. I mean, honestly, to me, it doesn't sound like a vegan menu.
That's why I'm here to show that it's not. Vegan food is not weird.
Now, kale. I was reading in the notes. Kale has a lot of health benefits that a lot of people don't know about. So, what are some of those benefits?
Well, anytime you get leafy greens are the best for you. It's actually a natural detoxifier, so it just sort of helps clean the body. High in fiber. And I always thought it was a garnish on a plate, and I never ate it until like 5 years ago. But if you just steam it really well, or you can saute it for a while with some oil, it's so good for you. So anytime you can add leafy greens, it's gonna. Remember Popeye? It's not just spinach.
Yeah,
Kale's good for you too.
Yeah, Popeye had some. He had some guns. He had some guns, and he had a sweet girlfriend.
I love,
all of them.
Kale chips.
Oh, the kale chips are so good. I know.
So good.
Great for kid snack too.
Yeah.
So I have a question about vegan restaurants here in the city. I mean, like, do you go into vegan restaurants and is there food up to par? I mean, do you think it's good?
Oh, definitely. I think more and more. I mean, luckily in the big cities, there's a ton of vegan restaurants. But I can go into a regular restaurant as well, so I don't have to torture all my friends and make them go only where I want to go. I can find vegan stuff.
Well, that's
anywhere.
another good question. Let's say you're out to eat with friends at a restaurant. How do you order something?
Well, I think if you stick to foods like Indian food, Mexican food, Ethiopian, Italian, there's always something to find. I'm not crazy where I'm going to grill the waiter like, is, the burner, have you cooked something on that my beans might go on? I do the best I can when I'm eating out. But, if you're not in a big city and you don't have vegan restaurants around the corner, then, like I said, stick to what you can. And a lot of the ethnic restaurants have great options.
So when you're talking about the burner and grilling the waiter, so there are things that they could do in the kitchen that would make something non-vegan?
Well, people worry about, when they're cooking French fries, what kind of oil is that? It's a matter of how hardcore you are, how hungry you are, and what kind of place you're eating. Because some places they're really careful about, having healthier products that they're cooking with, so you're not going to get, too much of the maybe lard. Yeah. Is that a southern thing, I feel like? I heard some people were still cooking with that in the South.
It's southern and also ethnic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you buy that in a store? Like, is that something you would pick up at,
I mean, my mom used to cook with that. Not anymore.
Crisco. You can still get
Crisco,
Crisco
right.
in the supermarket.
Although, the vegetable shortening is good for pie crusts. It is a necessity.
Yeah.
Now, what does somebody do on a holiday that's right around the corner, like Thanksgiving, and they're vegan? I mean, like, how do you celebrate? I mean, you can still celebrate Thanksgiving and have an awesome Thanksgiving meal, right?
No Thanksgiving because I'm vegan. No, of course. Everything can be veganized in my book. And I still eat mashed potatoes, sweet potatoes, pumpkin pie, stuffing, cranberry sauce, the works. I just use tofurkey.
Now talk to us about tofurkey.
Tofurkey, it's like a soy-based. It kind of can resemble a football at times, and you can get it at Whole Foods. You throw it in the oven. There's actually stuffing and gravy with it, so it's so simple to make. But I'm obsessed with it. I make it Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's, and it's the best.
Now, does it look like it doesn't? So you couldn't like trick your friends and say like, "Oh, here's my turkey for Thanksgiving," and it's really a tofurkey.
If you carve it and just kind of come out with it, in slices on the platter, absolutely.
But it looks like a football, so that's good for Thanksgiving because there's always football on Thanksgiving.
It's the whole sports theme with the holidays.
And does it make you fall asleep like normal turkey does?
Oh my God, no! I'm running out there wanting to play football after I eat.
Well, maybe I should do that this year because I take a nap on Thanksgiving. I mean, everybody does, but actually,
not as vegans.
Yeah, well, it's true. Vegans are probably out there picking up in the turkey bowl while everybody else is sleeping.
Energy. No cholesterol and fat on this bod.
So are you celebrating here? Are you celebrating in the what? Because I know you're from L.A. Are you celebrating back home? Okay.
In L.A.
And are you making the whole menu? You're doing the whole thing?
Yeah.
So what else can we expect on your Thanksgiving menu?
It's going to be all staples. I'm going to make apple pie, pumpkin pie, pecan pie. There was a lot of pies. Can I just skip the potatoes and everything and just have pie? I might just have pie this year and tofurkey.
Well, that brings me to my favorite question of all time. I had this saved for later, but I'm going to bust it out right now. Talking about pies, this is for you too, Rick. If you could only eat cookies, cakes, or pies for the rest of your life, which one do you choose?
Cupcakes.
Cupcakes?
Yeah.
Well, that falls into cake, I feel.
It does, exactly. Yeah, I've always been obsessed, and I'm completely obsessed. And I probably will be for a long time.
Okay.
There's a cookbook that I have, and literally when my son was 2, I could say, "Go get the book. You know which one," and he would go in the pantry, he'd get it, and we would go through it, and we would pick out what cupcake we were going to make that day. And they're all vegan, and he has egg allergies, so I'm like, I already know how to make vegan cupcakes. You're good.
So I am 100% cookies, without question, just because there's so many different kinds. Never been a pie person. Rick, give me your answer. Cake.
Yeah.
See, cake is a rare.
Yeah.
People rarely say cake. I ask everybody this question, and cake is probably the least answered response. But I think people don't realize that cupcakes are a cake.
Are included. Well, we have to let our lovely guest get back to work.
Of course, absolutely.
Be ready for the broadcast.
Yes, Kim. Good luck out there. Thank you so much. Check out the latest book is called
Skinny Bitch Ultimate Everyday Cookbook.
We'll have to get a copy of it before it goes upstairs and
absolutely.
And
we'll show everybody here.
With me if you need it.
Yeah.
So pick it up in your bookstore.
And for full
latest of the
disclosure,
Skinny Bitch line.
Isn't it a Simon & Schuster book?
No, it's Running Press.
It's Running Press. Oh, okay. Never mind.
Awesome. All right, we'll be back with more Backstage Live coming up soon.